What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another video. And I think I gotta do it, guys. I think I got to. Because tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow's the big day, bro. Tomorrow is the inauguration. And hopefully I can have some nice positive videos put out tomorrow. Nothing negative. Because fingers crossed, people are crazy, people are losing it. There's crowds gathering at the Lincoln Memorial as we speak to protest. Let's hope it's peaceful. Let them protest, let them scream into the air. It's kind of funny, there's a little bit of schadenfreude going on. But, it is what it is. But we're going to get into this. This is about the ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. But before we do, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. All of that stuff really helps out the channel. Plus, we'd love to have you be the newest member of the flock. The flock is for life. So come join us. The air is for everyone. Now, check this out, because I've been saying this a lot. And I'm not going to say it today, even though I should. But I'm not going to say it today because I honestly hate saying it. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, the whole tired of winning thing is a real thing. It says ceasefire between Israel and Hamas begins. 3 hostages to be released. Netanyahu's office confirmed that Israel had officially received a list of 3 female hostages who are expected to be released later today. Dude, man, God willing, they're okay. They didn't get their lives, turned upside down with anything super. It's just, how can I say anything like that, bro? Like, you've been a hostage for over a year. What, like 15, 16 months? Not even, dude. You've been a hostage for what? Even more than that, right? Because this was in 2023. Jeez. Oh my goodness. So like 25 months, 26 months, something like that. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't want to say your life is ruined, because it's not necessarily. Your life is never ruined, bro. You can always improve it. But the thing is that the life that you were gonna have before that innocence got destroyed, it's different. Your life is different. The life you were gonna have is over, and then now you got to start a new page, because now you've got this trauma, dude. And I'm not like an expert on trauma or anything. I only know about my trauma and my struggles with PTSD, and I'd like to think that I've been pretty open about my struggles with PTSD. It's rough. It's rough, and it's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of sharing, a lot of, maybe, like, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I took something called Prozocin for to help you settle at night, so that you're not waking up, with crazy dreams or nightmares, obviously. And that worked pretty good, dude. So, God willing, these ladies come out and they can, turn the page eventually and get their lives together. I pray to God, man, because I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine it. And these bastard terrorists basically stole over 2 years of their lives. Oh my Lord, 2 years being a hostage. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just, it gets me, dude. It something about bullies, man. Something about bullies and something about people that hurt kids, which obviously you're a bully if you hurt a kid for no reason, I believe in corporal discipline, a nice smack to the bottom when, they are crossing the street without looking, when you've taught them a million times. And obviously that's a personal one for me. But yes, you've taught them a million times to go and look left and look right to cross the street, and then they don't get it, and it's been time after time after time. So I understand the little smack on the bottom to make them realize, hey, this is dangerous. There's pain involved. Stop crossing the street without looking left and right. A fragile ceasefire and hostage deal reached between Hamas and Israel came into effect on Sunday morning after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office confirmed that Israel had officially received a list of 3 female hostages who are expected to be released later today. At the request of the Prime Minister's office, the names are not yet being released. Sorry about that, you guys. Totally unprofessional. I know. But there's some stuff going on, and I need my phone to be on. Sorry. What was I looking at? Oh, yeah. At the request of the Prime Minister's office, the names are not yet being released publicly. We request all media and the public not to circulate the details of the list and safeguard the privacy of the families, Netanyahu's office said in a statement. Israel repeatedly said throughout Saturday night into Sunday morning that it was yet to receive the list of hostage names from Hamas agreed to in the ceasefire deal. According to the agreement, that's kind of shady, but what do you expect from Hamas, dude? Like, for real. Hamas was meant to have provided the names of hostages to be released 24 hours ahead of time. The first release was expected around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, local media said. 4:30 at... So we're looking at 6.5 more hours for me. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Florida. Sunny, not really. Not right now, but Florida. So 6.5 more hours. Oh, this is so tense, dude. Hamas previously said it would release 3 female Israeli civilian hostages on day 1 of the ceasefire and 4 more on the 7th day. It would then release 3 more hostages every 7 days. Yeah, and then isn't Israel gonna release like thousands of terrorists? A lot of them are civilians, but yes, there are terrorists embedded in that civilian population. Which who's gonna know who's who? That's the thing about terrorism, dude. Like, there's no, to me, there's no honor in it. Because you guys are fighting, you guys, as if a terrorist is watching this. If a terrorist is watching this, dude, you can go fuck all the way. Because you guys have no honor, man. You guys aren't warriors. You're not. You're not warriors. You can consider yourself freedom fighters all you want, but you're not. Because freedom fighters protect the people. And you guys hide behind the people. The people protect you. That's disgusting. That's not... That's real coward, low, dishonorable. And I'm just going to say it. And I'm sorry, ladies, if I offend anybody, any lady. But that's some pussy shit. I'm sorry. Men should not use women and children and the elderly as fucking human shields, and it really pisses me off, because the fact remains that I understand that war is hell, whatever, but this wasn't a war, because if Israel felt like turning the whole place to glass, they would, and nobody's gonna say anything. What if they destroyed the Gaza Strip? Okay, let's say they did that. What do you think's gonna happen to Israel? Some political blowback. A lot of talking, it'll be like 2, 3, 4 months of Israel's the worst. Israel needs to do this. Israel needs to do that. And all you do is just say, nope, kiss my ass. What are you going to do? You want war? That's all you got to do if you're Israel. So people saying, oh, Israel is heartless, this is not completely. They're not completely heartless. Because like I said, if they wanted to, they could have ended this war a long time ago. But they're trying to save the civilian population. Which, dude, regardless of how you see this entire episode, this ugly episode of human history, you have to at least understand that they could go a more drastic route, save more of their people, and they're not. They're purposely endangering their people by not literally bombing the crap out of the area. And this has been said, it's been parroted, it's been mocked on left-wing media sites, the legacy media. It's been mocked. Oh, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to level the place? They could. There's no, this isn't a fight. This is like at the very least a really good amateur boxer who's about to turn pro fighting a child, okay? And I don't say like a pro like Mayweather or anything, because that's the United States. You know, we're not undefeated during war, but still, that was kind of a jab at myself. Anyways, So it says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held a security meeting Saturday night regarding the delay after not receiving the names, his office said. Netanyahu instructed the IDF that the ceasefire, which is scheduled to take effect at 8:30, will not begin until Israel has the list of hostages to be released, which Hamas has pledged to provide. It added, oh my lord, at 8:30. What 8:30 are they talking about? Early on Sunday morning, the start of the ceasefire remained uncertain, as Netanyahu said that Israel was still waiting on the names, they want to say here, but they didn't, was still awaiting the names of the 3 female civilians who Hamas had said they would release on January 19th. The names were supposed to have been released Saturday afternoon. Hamas released a statement shortly after saying the delay was due to technical reasons, adding that it confirms its commitment to the terms of the ceasefire agreement, local media reported. In the upcoming phase 1 of the deal, if it holds, Hamas will release a total of 33 hostages, most of whom are still alive. Just reading that, you guys, messes me up. Most of whom are still alive. Meaning some are dead. And how rich is that, huh? That Hamas is honoring a ceasefire deal when they're the ones that started this whole crap to begin with. They're the ones that took hostages. They're the ones that attacked the civilian population on purpose, hitting soft, what they call soft targets. Targets that can't defend themselves or defend themselves to a minimal degree. Targets that will definitely hurt the nation if they're targeted. Civilians, dude. Typically civilians. Farms, soft targets. Honestly, guys, it kind of breaks my heart. It kind of breaks my heart to read that. Most of whom are still alive. And if you're an American, if you have any type of link to this situation, you should feel something. I'm not saying like a profound sadness. Don't let it like ruin your day. But this is not okay. And this type of shit was allowed, excused, and it might as well have been encouraged during the Biden era. Because Biden was not present. And we didn't even know who the substitute teacher was. You know, do you remember in high school or in middle school or whatever, you would get a substitute teacher and people would act out? I mean, I was one of those guys because I obviously was the class clown, which is not a good thing. I'm saying that to put myself down. But I was the class clown. And I always wanted to pull one over on the substitute, even though I know that when the teacher comes back, I'm going to get it. But it was funny at the time, and it was kind of worth it at the time in my dumb teenage brain, preteen brain too. But it's like they understand now. They have not had even a substitute teacher because we don't know who's in charge of the government right now. We don't know who's been in charge of the government for the past, 4 years. We have no idea. And don't tell me it was Biden, because Biden, as we Cubans would say, el tipo estaba perdido. The guy was lost. Forget left field. The guy wasn't even in the parking lot of the stadium of which the game was being played. All right? And I'm not saying that to be funny, although I hope it is. But for real, though, he really is like lost. He didn't know what freaking executive orders he was signing. And this is all according to Mike Johnson, dude. And Mike Johnson, anybody who says that he's like, oh yeah, but he's a Republican, dude. I'm not on team Mike Johnson. I'm just not. Because the guy hasn't proven shit to anybody on the conservative side. All he's shown is that he's willing to give more and more and more to the Democrats. Which is not what I signed up for, bro. Like, the MAGA train is not about giving more and more to the Democrats. Yes, shit needs to be passed. Yes, we need to make concessions so that we can reach across the aisle and get the bills passed so that they can finally make it to the president's desk. Totally get that. Totally get that. It's true. You know, it makes sense. It's rational and reasonable. But the thing is that then the pork comes in. And I know that I explain this a lot because we talk a lot of politics on this channel, but pork is the not necessarily unnecessary, but it's the extra stuff that they jam into a bill because they're hoping that you'll pass the bill on the 1, 2, or top 3 merits of the bill, for example, and then everything else gets passed too because, hey, it was there. It's like when you're going into VIP and you're the man and you've got an entourage and the entourage comes with you. Well, that's what pork is. Pork is the entourage of every bill. It's on every bill. Hangers on that just want to suck the life out of the United States people and the country. That's what pork is. And I say it on both sides because the problem is that what we should do, and this was suggested by Ron DeSantis, and it was suggested at one point by Donald Trump at the very least once or twice, which is when you have a bill, do a bill with 1 or 2 points. Say, for example, we will not accept asylum for more than 5,000, immigrants a day. Period. The end. That should be one bill. If you want to put exceptions to that, not that I would want to, but you know what I mean. If you want to put exceptions to that, put exceptions to that. But that's it. No more of these like 1,500. And I'm not exaggerating, by the way. I know that I exaggerate a lot. Hey, I'm Cuban. But guys, 1,500 pages was the freaking last spending bill that they passed, that they tried to pass. That they said, here you go. You got 2 days to read 1,500 and go through all that as a party. And I'm talking about the Republican Party. Here you guys go. 1,500 pages. All 200 and whatever of you guys get together, read through this thing, and you all get together and figure out what is wrong with these 1,500 pages. That's not the way to do business. You wouldn't run a private business like that. You guys that are entrepreneurs, that you're your own boss, that you hire a staff, that you're watching this, you wouldn't do that to your employees. Like, let's say you were changing SOP. You wouldn't all of a sudden be like, oh, look, here's SOP. I expect you to know it. Here's 1,500 pages. I expect you to know the new SOP forwards and backwards in 2 days, and I expect you to abide by it. And if you don't abide by it, you're going to be, against the SOP, so you can be fired. It sounds absurd, right? And it is. And that's what the Democrats have been doing. They've been packing these bills with tons and tons and tons of pork to the point of where it reaches thousands of pages in length. Not being hyperbolic in any way. Like I said, the last spending bill was over 1,500 pages. And they gave it to them about a day and a half before they had to vote on it. And again, that would mean that 200-something people would have to get the 1,500 whatever pages and divide it amongst the 200. And then literally, think about that. As a group, like you're in the library. I don't know if how many of you guys did study groups in college or high school or whatever. But you go to the library and be like, all right, well, this is what this answer is. Yeah, dude, you could chop up 1,500 pages amongst 200 people. Totally cool, bro. Let's say everybody gets 10 pages at first. Okay? 200 pages get done with 200 people, right? But then the communication, because you got to remember that every state representative wants something different. It says, in exchange, Israel... I'm sorry, you guys. This type of stuff gets me heated. And I got a headache too, man. Ugh. In exchange, Israel has agreed... Bro, guys, epic times. Love you guys. You guys are conservative, and you guys just try to keep it objective, and I appreciate that. But you guys got to edit this shit, man. I'm sorry. In exchange, Israel has agreed to release an unspecified number of Palestinian prisoners convicted of acts of terror against Israel. We're getting non-combatants and they're getting a bunch of combatants. An unspecified number. You know what that means, right? That means that Hamas put all of us, the entire world, over a barrel and had liberties with us. And I realize that some people are going to go, oh, my Lord. Oh, Mav is so crass. Mav, why do you talk like that? You're so coarse. Dude, I tell you how it is, man. I try not to, I really honestly, I don't set out to offend anyone. But unfortunately, I know that in just me being me, I'm going to offend some people. So to those people, I say you probably shouldn't be offended. And I don't apologize. But I am sorry that you're feeling hurt. But damn, dude, like seriously, we're getting raked through the coals here. The world at large is. Not just America, because it's not just American hostages. Alongside the prisoner exchange, Hamas will be expected to halt its rocket attacks against Israel during the ceasefire period, while Israel will be expected to withdraw its troops to the buffer zones in Gaza towards the east, away from the populated areas. The ceasefire will also make way for the unimpeded flow of more humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza. This is interesting. Check this out. It says, acting as the mediator alongside the United States between Israel and Hamas in the ceasefire talks, Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani. We've talked about him, and I apologize, Sheikh, if I mispronounced your name, because, excuse me, I believe it's a title, Sheikh. Right? And I've heard it Sheik and Seek. I don't know the difference. And that's just me being ignorant, dude. And I apologize for that. That right there is an example of me maybe offending someone with just cultural ignorance. And I apologize for that. You guys can let me know down below how do I pronounce that. Is that Sheik or Seek? Because I've heard it both ways. Is it maybe both ways? Is it interchangeable? Or am I literally talking about two different things? Anyways, so Al Thani says, he remarked that the agreement's survival depends on both sides acting in good faith in order to ensure that this agreement does not collapse. I think that we know that Hamas are terrorists, and I think that we know that we can't trust terrorists, and I would like to think that we're not that naive that we're still thinking that it's all good and we can trust them. And the only reason this is happening is because, obviously, Hamas is getting the better end of the deal. And they know that they're going to get turned to glass by President Trump if it doesn't finish. And I know some of you guys on Twitter have been hitting me up and going, Mav, I don't agree with this. We shouldn't use the carrot. We should use the stick. Guys, I get it. This isn't my forte, okay? I've done some negotiations. I used to be a salesman. You know, I even had my license for real estate for a little bit. Didn't get to do anything with it. But the point is, I've done like a lot of like role playing and real life sales scenarios where it's negotiating, you know, over all sorts of different things and haggling and blah blah blah. But this is like, you know, world stakes negotiating. So I don't know. I don't. Tell me down below. Tell me down below what you guys think. Is this the right move? Or should we literally just go in and risk the lives of the hostages? Because at this point, we don't know their health. We don't know their prognosis. Or in this case, prognoses. You know, we don't know who's going to make it and for how long they're going to make it. You know what I mean? So it's rough all the way around, man. I wish that I could tell you this is a black and white situation, but it's not. Full of gray. But that's the story, you guys. Tell me what you guys think down below. There's a lot to unwrap here. I love you guys hanging out with me. You know that. As always, it's a pleasure hanging out. Stay safe. Stay based.